Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. What's up? It's SW Live. It is March 1st, Wednesday, March 1st. Y'all know what that means, right? It's March. It's my month. Welcome to March. Welcome to SW Live. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to March 1st. Welcome to the last month of the quarter. It's about to be a splendid month, y'all, because March is the month of rebirth. So, and the reason why I celebrate that is that anyways, because it's when spring happens and new life happens, the flowers blooming, everything that's supposed to be new is there and originally, March was the new year in the old calendar. So, it's a lot of reasons why. So let me get out these people music chat before I get fined for copyright and infringement. And I don't need that. So how y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Welcome to Wednesday. I'm so excited for today for a number of reasons. And one of those reasons is because it is the start. Excuse me. Excuse me. It is the start of Women's History Month, and not only is it the start of that, it is also it's an event that's going to actually be doing a celebration of Women's History Month, and so I'm super excited about that because I get to take my young daughter to that, and she is going to go and do some displaying of what she does and all of that good stuff. And she of course she plats hair, but she's going to get to go network, and that's going to be exciting. So we're going to do a quick show today because we want to make it over there to that event and get engaged with that as well. But I still want to get on my show and do what I need to do to let y'all know how it goes down over here on SW Live on Wednesdays. So first and foremost, we're gonna drop the quote of the day, and y'all know the quote of the day always live because the quote of the day always causes for discussion. Today it's we must be willing to get rid of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. The old skin has to be shed before the new one can come. I mean, and a lot of people might say that that's self-explanatory. A lot of people might say that it isn't like that easy, or try to tell you or deter you and make you think that you can't shed skin to get new skin. They may ignore the whole fact that it's a metaphor, but it's actually very, very true. The old you has to lose some space inside of your life in order for the new you to show some visual. It has to pop out. You can't always be stuck to the old person. So that's why today's show is called it's Into the Room season, because if March is the month of birth and rebirth and all those different things, and because the spring season, everything is new. Everything happens that's a new in March. It brings, beyond the fact that it's it's an extremely great month to be born. However, it's also beneficial to what we're doing out here. It's spring, it's growth season. It's time for you to do things that are going to be beneficial for you. So it's time to enter these rooms. So if you get this, if you're looking at this quote and you say, and I'm saying to you, we must be willing to get rid of the life we planned, because there is a life that we planned. It's a lot of people that have said, I'm going to have that picket fence, I'm going to have that porch, I'm going to have that White House, I'm going to have the cookie cutter family, and blah, 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 blah. And half of that shit ain't nowhere near real. You feel me? So you got to decide, are you willing to step outside of the comfort zone of saying, I'm going to have that cookie cutter familiarity, or am I willing to shed that so that I can get what's really out there for me? So we must be willing to get rid of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. The old skin has to be shed before the new one can come. It's very, very true indeed. Very, very true indeed. We have to know that there is nothing that can grow without proper soil. Got to do it. All right. So I like that quote. I like it because, for one, it does fit the whole fact that it is the month of the rebirth. It is the time that things are trying. It's time for things to grow anew. It's time for things to start being beneficial to the world, as in springing and coming forth. We got to get ready for it, because there's a lot of people that's going to have a great gallant in this season, because they've been planting, they've been feeding, they've been gathering. So they're going to be reaping in this season some of those things, because of the fact that they've been doing all of those things to get prepared for what's to come. All right. So yeah, that's what's going on, Queen. That's what we're gonna say first and foremost. Yes, the rebirth. And we're gonna put that into the atmosphere, because that's what's popping right now. You gotta go ahead and dive into it, because it's important. I'm telling you, it's very important. It's happening this whole season. This is a season for that. So we're gonna jump into the tips, because I want to talk about the tips, because like I said, we're gonna go to an event today, but I want to jump into the tips really quickly to give you guys a little bit of information on what we're doing to promote jumping into your season, entering those rooms and being ready, sitting at these different tables that are welcoming you to, because you're needed at these tables. You understand what I'm saying? You're needed. It's not just I'm not supposed to be sitting here. You're supposed to be there. It's your season for that. So yeah, we're gonna jump into that. We're gonna jump into those tips. All right. One of the things I will say, in order to get going with such a thing, with such a goal and a dynamic, you got to get out of your head. You got to know when to say, okay, I'm built for this. I can't let this be what blocks me and stops me or halts me from going further. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? You got to be at that point where you're willing to take that chance on yourself. You gotta do it. And everybody won't have that. Everybody won't have that awakening this spring. Everybody won't have that jump, that rebirth. Everybody won't have it. So you can't wait for them to gravitate to it. You got to go ahead and do it, because if you feel it and the urge is there, it's for you. That's how rebirth works. It's not like, it's something that you completely you strategizing for, because you've been planning for it. It doesn't just happen. It's something that you've been planning for. It's something that you've been actually gearing toward, because you know what has to happen in that season. So if you've done that, if you prepared yourself, then you are walking into that rebirth, and you're willing to take that opportunity to say, you know what, this is the door I want to go, because this is the reason that I need to go in that door. This is the reason I need to go in this door. This is reasons behind every different in which a way that you have to go next, because those are the steps that you have to take. Okay. So 1, get out of your head. 2, you got to get out in the open. You got to network. You got to go talk to people. You got to share common knowledges. You got to exchange business cards. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm out and about yesterday at a networking event, and I'm seeing that everybody is really, 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 really into the digital world. I think that you still got to be a little bit old school with it and have some of these things on paper just to have in case, because technology shuts down. But getting with the program is what you got to do now. You got to be on it. You got to be on it. You got to have these digital business cards. You got to have these platforms already set up. You can't just come out there, and yes, you can be geared toward setting up for it, but it got to be founded. What you coming for, what you moving for. Because if they just hear that you got a little goal in mind, they'll go ahead and snatch that goal, because they don't hear anything fluid. They don't hear anything foundated. You know what I'm saying? So get out in the open, talk about your things, put it together. That's your first step. Put it together. Make sure it's solid. Make sure it's fluid. And then you take it and you fix it. You put it into a goal. You start planting seeds into it, getting it prepared. And then now you got to get it out in the open and start showing people what you got going on, because they need to know. They need to know. They need to know. And if you're afraid to get it in with the people, that's going to be one of the things that tell you that it's not for you, because if you're not willing to go out and network and talk to the people who are going to help you get to that next level, that's not your demographic. You got to get into your work. You have to be knowledgeable about what you're presenting. You have to be knowledgeable and mindful about the things that you're walking into. So that means that's why that prior research is there. You have to go and do the footwork, leg work, shuffle. You got to get out there in that world, baby. It helps you get out of your comfort zone, because that's the only way you're gonna step into your growth zone. All right. So, we know that there are ways, things, and purposes and reasons for why seasonal things have to happen. But there are certain times of the year when you have to say, okay, we can't use this type of soil. There are certain times of the year when you say you can't plant these type of flowers. So there's obviously seasons, they matter for a reason, right? So it's certain things you gotta do to help you walk into that. So your mindset, and getting your mindset to be formulated in exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it. Nobody can juice you up more than yourself. Now, the one thing I'll say about that is yourself can't even juice you up if it's not yours. If it's not for you, yourself will tell you what's for you. Yourself will let you know how you're supposed. You got that energy. Now, we got the intuition. If you are really in tune with who you are, yourself will let you know if this is for you or not for you. What's going on, E? What's popping, my brother? So your mindset is everything. If you keep finding yourself in a rut every time you try to get these things together for this particular situation that you're working on, and it's not happening, that's not yours. I'm telling you, you don't want to build into something that you know that you're not going to be set in. Take the opportunity to make sure the room that you are entering is your room. That's important. That's very important. Every room that you are thinking to enter may not be yours. So make sure that you soundly know that the room that you are entering is for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure of that. So since this is the month of springing and this is the month of bringing forth new things, I'm ready, because we're ready for it. We're ready for all of that. We're ready to see all the new things that are about to flourish, all the new things that are about to prosper, because it's written for it to happen. Now, how you nourish it, how you keep that soil, how you keep that, how you make your analogy ready to handle that is by planting it and taking out those negative things, those negative ions, to where you're not being able to plant bad shit into your soil through your energy. So you got to get rid of that fear. Your fear is going to, if you got that fear of, I'm afraid, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, then you talking yourself out of something. I told you, like, okay, so first that mindset gonna let you know if you're ready anyway. So it may not just be the fear, and now the fear finally develops because you're not listening to your mindset. So if the fear comes, that means that you've already ignored all the red flags, ignored all the other signs that are trying to tell you that this isn't yours. But if it's popping, baby, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear that this is for me. We want to hear that mindset telling that mindset to do it. Get that fear out the way, because this is your season to walk into these new rooms. It is not, you cannot walk into these new rooms with fear. You cannot walk into these new rooms with doubt. All that you got to leave outside. You cannot walk inside with it because you're going to be your first critic. You're going to know what you did right, what you did wrong. And then when you're sitting there saying that to yourself, now I knew better than that, I knew better than that. Well then, why didn't you prepare yourself? Why didn't you prepare yourself? We're going into these rooms prepared. We're going into these rooms ready because we manifested these rooms and we meditated and prayed for these rooms and asked for these rooms to come to fruition for us, and it's happening. So once you get to these places, once you are now able to open up with these places, you got to take full advantage and be prepared for things that you ask for. This is not the season for self-doubt at all. All right. So getting out that comfort zone, you got to put forth action. So first, you got to make sure, again, your mindset is great, that you are telling yourself good shit, that you building yourself up, that you being honest with yourself, even in that mindset. Again, we said why. Because if you're not being honest with yourself in that mindset, that fear going to creep in. That fear going to let you know every single time, this may not be for you. Sometimes the fear telling you to not do it because you're not ready for it, or sometimes the fear letting you know that this really ready for you and it's beneficial. You can tell because sometimes you already did everything you're supposed to do to get to that. That's when you know that's just something that's trying to sneak in on you. It might be anxiety or something like that. You got to go ahead and do what you do to get that off of you. And if it's still there, that's different. That's different. Might be that fear that we was telling you about earlier, that fear that's telling you that's not for you. But you got to go ahead and know what to invest in. What if you've been manifesting something and it comes, I don't think that's something you've been manifesting and it comes for you. I don't think that's something that's going to not be for you. You know what I'm saying? And you've been manifesting this. You've been putting pure thought and work into this. You've been building. You've been sacrificing. You've been putting forth the effort. You've been showing up for you. You've been doing this for you, that for you, this for you, that for you. So now it's time for you to reap in your season. This is that season for that. This is the season to formulate your rebirth. So everybody that decides that, I want to do something different, when you come to do those different things, you just got to make sure your plan is solid. And we're going to have bumps and jumps and humps along the way. But if you have written down a solid foundation for yourself, you shouldn't have any issues with taking forth with that to make it work. Okay? You got to get out that comfort zone. You can't be sitting around here thinking that the comfort zone is the easy way out. That comfort zone is just exactly that. It's comfort. It's comfort. It's to just hold you there and hold you hostage. And the lady, the lady at my job told me, she said, Shelby, I never thought that I should even be switching jobs because I'm old. I said, how old are you? She said 44. Girl, I said, girl, please. I said, have you applied for anything? Have you tried anything else? Are you just comfortable? She said, I've been here for over 18 years, so I'm just going to just stay and retire. I said, well, that I feel, but like I would still probably apply somewhere else and go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because that's me. But if you okay with it, just chill. And she was like, I'm not okay with it. But and I'm like sitting there thinking to myself, I couldn't even think of sitting in one space in a building for 18 years. Whew, that made me dread retiring from state government. I love what I do, but that made me dread thinking about that people really work a job for 35 years and they be content. But that's what it is. That's what the people told us that people needed to do. So that's what they do. That's what they do. And you get your retirement. What's up, BZ? And you get that retirement, so you have something to look forward to. That's my girl. So yeah, it's certain things you gotta do for you, but I just couldn't It's just certain things I don't want to do. That's why I'm doing other things so that I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take whatever little pension I get from it. I don't want to have to stay there the whole time. You gotta and other things that keep you from stepping in that room, because you know that there's a lot of times that we know that room is for us, and we know that we should have walked into that room, right? But we let that doubt kick in to say, because you overthinking it. So it's telling you to stop overthinking it. Work with that fear, not against it. So if you can take in that, this, because we were talking about this last night at this quick event we stopped at. If you know that you're struggling with something, so say for instance you're having an issue with typing emails or whatever, because you may be too forward in the emails that you send to people, right? So you send, and now you're trying to figure out a way to do it. So the first thing you got to do is get that mindset correct. That's why the first tip that we said that'll help you shift and get yourself ready for that room and sitting at that table is that mindset. If you got that mindset telling you this is it, we have made it, we are ready, let's go. Who against you? It said let's go. Let's go. We've been planning for this. We've been reaping for this. We've been going for this. Now it's time, and we sitting over here having overthinking thoughts, this and this and this, negatives telling us that we ain't ready. No. If you've been planning for this and doing this your season. I told you, the people that's not gonna reap in this season are the ones who think that I'm just gonna jump in, make a quick buck, and fall out. No, this ain't your season. But if you have been sitting back, putting it together, knowing what you want to do next, thinking about it, planning about it, feeding it, nourishing it, manifesting it, working toward it, this is yours. How could you go against you? Because those are things that let you know that you are prepared. You did those things that'll let you know that is it. It don't work in your favor when you just thinking that I could just jump in and jump out. It don't work like that. It works for the ones who are building into it. When you build into something, you are going to reap. And that's exactly what you have to do with this season. You got to take advantage of the things that it has given you. Because it has given you some things. All right, so stop overthinking and get into it. You got to reflect. Write down what you've been talking, what you've been feeling. You write down that goal, benefit off that goal, push that goal, dig deep into that goal, mold that goal. Sometimes you gotta shift your identity. You gotta sometimes, because I know I do it a lot. I be like, okay, Danielle, you gotta take you out of the equation today because you be tripping. If I listen to you today, we'll be knucking and bucking. So I'll go over here and let Shelby do the talking. I don't care what y'all say. People could say, girl, you act like you got two. Like, I don't care. It's a reason for everything. Shelby going to be professional. Shelby going to let it out. She's going to talk to you with sense. Danielle don't give a damn. Think about it. All right. Build up your confidence with a growth mindset. Again, don't be afraid of excitement. Don't be afraid to know that you about to get ready to celebrate yourself in some of these seasons. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that. You got to take and it's no longer as I always say this about my granny boy, because she be on it, but it ain't no baby steps. She said, when you want what you want, you got to go get it. It's giant steps. It's big people steps. It's, baby, you know what you want to do, right? Yes, ma'am. Well, then, why you moving slow? You know what I'm saying? Pick up the pace. You got to surround yourself with a supportive group of people, because those are the people who are going to help you win. They're going to point you in the direction of things you need, people you can trust, people you can't trust. They're going to tell you everything you want to know, because it's going to be things out there you don't know. You simply don't know. You're new to this. So it's going to be things out there you simply don't know. So as I told you, if this is your season, that's your door, that's your work ethic, that's what you've been building toward, you better go and walk in that goddamn door. You better go and walk in. Stop taking your time. Stop crawling. You can skip if you want to, because you've already known what you've been planting. You know what you've been infusing into the earth. You know what you've been telling yourself that you need, because you've been nourishing it. If it's not real, it's not for you, you'll know that too. But for the most part, we're talking about things that we have put into the soil and have made our very own thing, created that. And we ready to see it come out. And that's what we're building towards today. That's what we're pushing and bringing into this rebirth, into this new season. Because spring, you're ready to spring and do its thing. And next thing you know, before you know it, spring gonna be unsprung. And then you still gonna be looking crazy because you haven't decided how you gonna put it out there. But you're gonna miss the opportunity of where it's going to block when it's time to blossom. So don't hold back when it's already solid. The fear you got for it is the biggest fear you're going to have for yourself, and that's going to hold you back. But if you're ready for this, do it. If you got this, go for it. It's yours. Ain't nobody can stop you but you. Nobody can stop you but you. And we ain't trying to even let us stop us in this season. We must be willing to get rid of the life we planned so as to have the life that we have waiting for us. This old skin has to be shed in order for the new to come. And with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, we're having a quick show today because we're gonna head over into the World of Beer March Women's History Month event that they have going on over there. And everybody that's coming out, see y'all there. But thank y'all for tuning in. I want y'all to go forth and be great. If it don't nobody believe in you, I believe in you. I'll see y'all next week. Is the next week? We got Gen Z. We got our new segment in the building, y'all. Gen Z will be in the building with their first show. I'm super excited about that. Super excited. I cannot wait. Y'all tune in next Wednesday for the feature of our new segment. We're going to have the young people come on, y'all. They're young people to me. Like, damn, I'm old. I'm older is what I meant. So we're going to have them coming on next week. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to the new group, to the youth. If you got children, you got young teenagers, young college students, make sure they tune in, because this is for them. This is what I put this show together for. I've been telling you, it's the rebirth. It's the rebirth. We got some new things coming up with SW Live, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. See y'all next Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Welcome to Women's History Month. I'll see y'all soon, baby. Peace.